What's up, everybody? Welcome to SLC Puck. Woo, we did it. We made it. Yes. Good job, everybody. Way to go. We made it through the dog days of summer. We're here. We're alive. It's September 1st, episode 37 of SLC Puck. And I'm just proud of all of you guys out there for sticking in there and getting through the dog days of summer with me and with everybody else who's been anxiously awaiting the start of hockey season. Felt like it took forever to get here, but now we're in September, and here's the good news. There's going to be hockey every month until April, at least. There might be hockey even more if, things go well and the Utah Hockey Club makes the postseason. We'll just have to see how that goes. But you know me. I'm your host, Austin Facer. Welcome to SLC Puck. Again, just over the moon. I'm excited. This is it. Things are getting real. I'm going to be a busy boy covering the freaking hockey season. And does that make me nervous? Am I going to lose my grasp on the rest of my life? I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to see. That's part of the fun. But I'm excited. And you might be noticing something else about me. I know my countenance is glowing because I'm excited about hockey season. I've also got a cool new SLC Puck hat. That's right, everybody. I wasn't kidding. I told you we'd have new stuff at the SLC Puck shop. You think I'd just leave you hanging like this? Come on, get real. slcpuck.shop, place to go if you want to support the show. It's a great place to do it. Other ways to support the show include liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. But you can also rock some merch, and I think I got a good one here. I think the hat looks pretty good. And I tried to make it, again, everything's at a really reasonable cost. It's just $21. But if you want to spice it up a little bit, again, I'll just show you the hat. SLC Puck, upside down. Here, I think this is going to be cool. In the event that someone at a Utah Grizzlies or Utah Hockey Club game scores a hat trick, if one of these gets thrown on the ice and lands this way, whoa, that's pretty cool, right? Not bad. Was that what I was thinking? Maybe. But if you want to spice it up and make the hat even cooler, get yourself some pieces of flair as well. Yes, that is an Office Space reference. I've got all your favorite SLC Puck characters here. Birdie guy, Mohawk guy, Yeti guy, 9. We talk about Paul Kariya. That's my numbers. Does 9 stand for Paul Kariya? Is it Clayton Keller? Is it Austin Facer? That's for you to decide. And I think you'll come together and have a real nice look. You get yourself a hat and some pieces of flair. You'll be rocking it. You'll be the coolest guy in town for sure. If that's your thing, if you want to be cool, I'd recommend going that way. But man, it is exciting. Hockey season's here, and for a lot of people, a way to know that hockey season is here is if a certain publication lands in your mailbox. And for me, that is absolutely what happened this week. And it was even more special for me. Okay, and I'll get into why. But the publication of which I'm referring to is the Hockey News, whose annual NHL Yearbook came out this week. And man, what a great magazine, by the way. So much good stuff in here. The Hockey News, obviously, if you're familiar with hockey, you're probably very familiar with the Hockey News. It's like the preeminent hockey publication. I checked the circulation numbers because I was curious. And, about 300,000 people read this magazine. Huge in Canada. Lots of hockey fans check it out. And for a lot of these hockey fans, they're probably very interested in reading the what to expect with the Utah Hockey Club. So here's what happened to a lot of people when they got this magazine. They ran to their mailbox. They said, "Holy hell, it's here! The NHL Yearbook by the Hockey News is here." They sprinted to the mailbox. They ripped it out of the mailbox. They got it. They turned to page 158, and they're like, "Dude, everything I need to know about the Utah Hockey Club is right here for me." It's all been neatly assembled. There's some news, some recaps, some analysis, about 800 words worth of analysis. I happen to know it's about 800 words for a specific reason, because if you look at the byline, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get that on camera. Oh my goodness, look at that. A familiar name wrote the season preview for the Utah Hockey Club in this year's issue of the Hockey News' Yearbook. It was really cool, really fun. I was like really happy and excited that I got this opportunity. It was cool how it played out. And I have to give some love to a member of our local media. He's a buddy of mine, Ryan Miller. He writes for KSL.com. You've probably seen him cover the Utah Hockey Club for KSL.com. He covers the Jazz as well. He pretty much does a lot of almost all the sports coverage there, and he does a great job. He doesn't do all of it, but he does a good chunk of it. But someone reached out to Ryan, someone from the Hockey News, and asked him if he would be willing to do this season preview. He deferred and punted the ball over to me. So it was fun to get an email from the Hockey News saying, "Hey, Ryan Miller gave us your email and said you were like the local hockey media person. Would you be interested in writing this year's section?" To which I quickly responded, "Hell yeah, I would." And so I jumped on the opportunity. Again, they gave me the layout, the rundown of what to look for, about 800 words. Threw me a little bit of money to do that, but again, it was super fun to do this, and it was a good way for me to get more up to speed of this team. I've said this before on the show. I did not follow the Coyotes closely last year, and I think everybody in Utah can be honest and say, no, we didn't either. So this was like a really good exercise for me to get much more familiar with the team and the names and the storylines. It was cool to do. You'll notice here in this section here, there's a depth chart right here. It's probably not that accurate anymore because just due to the process of printing a print magazine, all my story and my depth chart had to be submitted about 2 months ago. So it might not be all up to date, but again, I think I wrote it in such a way that if you're reading it now in September, the information is as accurate as it possibly could be. And this magazine's awesome. It was kind of funny. Like this came in the mail, and I was like, I definitely have to hang on to this issue. This is definitely going to be a keepsake of mine for forever. But now I'm like, gosh, I really want to like mark it up and like take notes and have like all these things on it because this is a great magazine. And I'm not just saying this because they threw me a bone. I'm saying this because it's the truth here. So much great insight. They do team previews for every team in the NHL and a lot of good stuff. The content's awesome. And I'll just run through some highlights of this issue for you. And again, you go online, go to the Hockey News, order a subscription. I recommend it. It's pretty reasonably priced. You get this issue with it as well. I'm pretty sure you'll see these at like Barnes & Noble around here locally. I haven't been to Barnes & Noble too recently, so I haven't been able to look for it. But I'm willing to bet you'll probably see them there. But just some highlights from this year's yearbook. For one, I thought this was interesting. The editors of the editors of the Hockey News are predicting that the Utah Hockey Club will make the playoffs this year, which I thought was interesting. They project them to finish 5th in the Central Division and make it as a wild card team. The other teams in the mix in the Central Division, the Dallas Stars, who they're predicting to win the Stanley Cup, the Colorado Avalanche, Nashville Predators, Winnipeg Jets, and the Utah Hockey Club. They have them slated to go to the postseason. Their pick is the Dallas Stars winning the Stanley Cup over the New Jersey Devils in the final. It's going to be fun to look back at this issue and see what they predicted right, what they got wrong. That's part of the fun of sports media. We say bombastic things all the time. And as the season plays out, us who work in sports media, we're either proven right or proven wrong. And we'll just have to see how that goes. But again, more great stuff in this magazine here. Again, just flipping through just to sell you on it. I want you guys to go out and get a copy. And no, I don't get residuals. So, just go get it for fun. There's a great little section here. I did not do this section as part of the Utah Hockey Club's season preview. They've got a prospect chart. TJ Genla is rated as the team's best prospect, which isn't too surprising. But looking down the list, a lot of other names we've talked about here. The points-o-meter, this season's points projection, they're projecting Clayton Keller to be an 80-point scorer. Logan Cooley, I thought was going to have a big jump, according to the Hockey News. They're projecting him to have 54 points. Dylan Gunter also is going to have a big jump, according to the good folks at the Hockey News, 64 points. He'll be second on the team if the projections hold up. They're also predicting Mikhail Sergachev to be a big contributor with 48 points. So I thought that was all pretty interesting. They're going to need that for Mikhail Sergachev, by the way. But again, more great stuff here. They've got an awesome fantasy section if fantasy hockey is your kind of thing. And I thought this Ask the Experts page was pretty interesting here. These are all the editorial staff at the Hockey News. Just a bunch of different questions about the upcoming season. And one of the questions was, who is the next NHL team to win the Stanley Cup for the first time? And I think you'd be interested in knowing that 3 of the 6 editors at the Hockey News are projecting Utah to be the next NHL team to lift the Stanley Cup for the first time, which would be an unbelievable story. Stanley Cup parade going down State Street in Salt Lake City would be unbelievable. It doesn't seem that far-fetched to eventually happen if we're to believe that the team is coming up in a big way. And if you want more information on the team and what to expect next season, I'd recommend checking out the Hockey News. So, again, super fun. I was like super thrilled to be able to work on this with the good folks over there. I'm hoping they'll give me some more assignments throughout the year. That's kind of that was the plan. That was what was communicated to me. So, as that happens, I'll keep you guys in the loop. But again, super fun. Super appreciative to Ryan Miller for referring me for that opportunity. And super glad it worked out the way it did. So go check out the Hockey News. Pick up an issue now. And just as we proceed here, tying up some loose ends from the summer. All right, we're getting into September. Some big dates are coming up. The Rookie Face-Off. Again, first time we're going to see a team representing the Utah Hockey Club. They're going to take the ice in LA for a little rookie, tournament, September 13th through the 16th. Preseason will be right after that. September 22nd, they'll play their first preseason game in Iowa against the St. Louis Blues. They'll be back the next day, September 23rd, to play the Los Angeles Kings at the Delta Center, and then play a preseason game against the Colorado Avalanche on October 5th. October 8th, the big day, regular season home opener against the Chicago Blackhawks. And lest we forget, the Utah Grizzlies are also set to kick off the season in November. They'll play their home opener against the Allen Americans, the ECHL affiliate of the Utah Hockey Club, on November 1st. So that's what I'm saying. We're hockey season now. Things are going. Things are happening. And again, the big story again that I think is sort of looming over the team, the Utah Hockey Club, is what the name will eventually be. We still have not had an update in quite a while. I who knows when we'll get word on how the voting went, if there's going to be another round of voting, when they're going to admit that the voting never mattered. They're not going to, but you know what I mean. But last episode, and this is something that's been talked about a little bit on social media as well. I talked about how there might be some potential trademark issues, and the reason why I said that,
put on, but it's just crushing us on the other side.
Oh, sorry, I played that a little too early. The reason why I said that is because there is some talk of trademark issues surrounding the Yeti name. And if you watch the NHL Network, and this is an interview that I referenced a couple episodes ago when I talked about my enormous man crush on GMBA, Bill Armstrong. The NHL Network alluded to the fact there might be some trademark issues with the Utah Yeti name. And so just to get you more up to speed on what I was referring to, here we go. We'll just check this out.
That is so good. Yeah, I can only imagine how tight-lipped about this, because there's still a big process to go through in terms of the actual future name, whether it remains Utah Hockey Club or not. But I figured I'd just ask you.
And it went viral.
I'm just skipping ahead here. So again, just a refresher, Bill Armstrong may have jumped the gun, may have let the secret out on the potential name at the NHL draft when he talked about TJ Ginla. He said we knew he was going to be a Utah Yeti when he was after the 5th pick, when he was still on the board. And again, the hubbub was, did Bill give away the name? And my theory has always been like, without meaning to, I think he did. But anyway, he was talking about to the NHL Network about the process of naming the team, and this is where I called you guys into action to ask as my detective force to see if the kids were really chanting the Yeti name at the airplane hangar when they greeted the team, as Bill Armstrong describes here.
Listen, the kids are going to vote, whether it's the Outlaws or the Mammoths or whatever it is. They're going to run away with this. Mm-hmm. They're going to have huge impact here. And these kids that are going to come in and watch, they're going to remember that. They're going to be our age one day and be like, I remember when we named the team. And I just think it was a creative way to do it. And I kind of think in my mind from listening to the kids chant, at the hangar, I think I know what it is, but I don't want to sway anybody. So
that's fair.
I think I swayed enough people at the draft when I
then
had
listen
my
to this.
opinion
Listen to
of
this.
what it was. So.
I'm not your lawyer, but if I were, trademark infringement concerns come to mind. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Forget it.
Okay, right. So what are those trademark infringement concerns? Now, I think as far as I can tell, and again, I'm not a trademark lawyer. I don't know if you guys knew this. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy who does a silly little podcast in what may or may not be a basement, right? So just so you know, I'm not a trademark lawyer. I seem to remember talking about this early on in the show, and someone chirped in the comments, it added that they are a trademark lawyer. Someone messaged me and said they were a trademark lawyer and would be happy to give clarification on this. I cannot find that message. So whoever you are, reach out to me again and provide this explanation, because I need to know. But as far as I can tell, and I might be wrong on this, guys, if I am, big sorry. But, the issue seems to be this logo that was formerly used by the Colorado Avalanche. According to sportslogos.net, and you might remember this secondary logo. It was on the shoulders of their uniforms for quite a while. This logo was used from 1999 to, it might have been even used before this, but it was last used in 2015. It's a Bigfoot. It's a Bigfoot logo. You can see, and there's clear. I think they also had a Bigfoot mascot at some point. And so the point of contention would be, does that infringe on? Does the Yeti name infringe on that intellectual property that I guess is still used by, or still under ownership of the Avalanche, even though they're not actively using it? But again, embracing technology, as I did last episode when we made history as the first sports podcast in the world to employ the use of ChatGPT as a co-host, I would like to check this out and see if there's any issues. Because according to the research that I've done on mythical creatures, and again, this is not a podcast on mythical creatures, although it would be a lot more fun if it was, right? We could talk about like dragons and warlocks and Lord of the Rings. That would actually probably be very successful, to have some sort of deranged crossover where every episode we talk about like a new mythical being from the Lord of the Rings or something. But anyway, that's not what we do here. But I did do research on mythical creatures, and assuming Bigfoot is a mythical creature, if he's not real, he might be real. Bigfoot might be real. But here's what I'm trying to say. Yeti and Bigfoot are not considered to be the same thing. And this might be the argument that goes to court, and it eventually ends up being the basis for whatever the team name ends up being. Is the lawyers for Smith Entertainment Group are going to have to make that argument. Well, according to mythical folklore, the Yeti is actually quite different from Bigfoot, right? And again, we're going to use the use of technology to fact check this. That was just the research I did. So I'd like to reintroduce our co-host, ChatGPT, and I'll bring her in right now. Hey, ChatGPT, real quick, could you describe to me if Yeti and Bigfoot are the same thing, and put it in a brief summary, please?
The Yeti and Bigfoot are similar, but they're not the same. The Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman,
right,
is said to live in the snowy mountains of the Himalayas in Asia.
Or
Bigfoot,
Utah,
also known as Sasquatch, is reported to live in the forests of North America. Both are legendary ape-like creatures, but they come from different regions and cultures.
There you go. You heard it from our co-host, ChatGPT. Thank you, ChatGPT, for your insight on that, and for doing it in a not so chatty way. You were a little chatty last week, ChatGPT. You put it real concisely for us this week. I really appreciate that. So yeah, that'll be is that the court case that'll be made in case the Avalanche have an issue with the Utah Yeti using that name. Time will tell. I think that'll be a lot of fun. We will cover that on SLC Puck. Again, I believe that's the crux of the issue from what I can tell. If you are that trademark lawyer who messaged me a few months ago, hop back in the comments, bubble that message up. Again, I would like further understanding on this. What was the NHL Network referring to with the trademark issue? That's what I could tell it is. But again, I would appreciate some more understanding on that. So that's just, again, covering what I perceive as the potential trademark issue. And, hey, again, thanks for sticking in with us. I kind of have to change gears again at the end of this episode. We're talking here on September 1st. And something someone said when I posted about working on the hockey news, someone posted something about the cover of the magazine that I thought was really interesting. And so I'll just show you guys here. Again, here's the yearbook, NHL Shield, and then pictures of all the players, a player from each team. You can see there they photoshopped Clayton Keller in a Utah Hockey Club jersey. It's kind of cool. But if you look in the lower right-hand corner, you can see Johnny Gaudreau is right there, the Columbus Blue Jackets. And obviously the big story this last week was that he and his brother were killed by a drunk driver while they were riding their bikes, about to attend their sister's wedding, what would have been Friday. And so they were killed Thursday night, I believe. Because this is a hockey podcast, I feel like it's definitely something worth mentioning and worth extending my best wishes to the Gaudreau family, wishing them comfort and peace in this time. It's interesting. I don't think you really hear about a lot of guys in the prime of their career, a lot of professional athletes who die just in the middle of their career. He's 31 years old. And that's pretty sobering, especially me being 32. It just kind of is a reminder of how fragile life is. So, again, it was crazy. It was very upsetting news, and it's been all over sports Twitter, all over hockey Twitter. It's been a huge story, and again, I'm not sure what else I can say that would be different from what everybody else is saying. I think what I would just add though is, as someone who experienced a loss in the last couple of years, I talk about my dad all the time. We lost Dad in March 2023, and what really helped us, I think, was the embrace we got from our local community after he passed. It was just like a huge outpouring of love. A lot of people shared stories about Dad, a lot of stories we had never heard about Dad, and that was like,
we're not sure if they're true.
And we're not sure if some of them are true. I'm sure a lot of them are, and I'm sure some of them have been embellished. But that was like something that was really comforting to me, and was really comforting to my sister, my mom, and my whole family, was hearing these stories about my dad and the way people felt about him. And I am just pretty sure that this outpouring of love is being felt for the Gaudreau family right now. And so I hope that continues. My comment would just be to keep sharing stories about Johnny and Matthew. I'm willing to bet they're being read and heard by his family, and it's bringing them a lot of much needed peace and solace. And I mean, it's been awesome to read these stories about Johnny and Matthew, and Johnny in particular being, an NHL All-Star and having everything a person could ask for, being such a successful person, athlete. The stories about what a great person he was have been great to read, and given me a lot to think about how I want to, live my life too. And so that for me has been the sweetness of the bittersweet news of his passing. So that's all I would do to add to that. So anyway, again, I hate doing this. I hate ending episodes on a sober note. We're supposed to have fun here. This is fun. We're getting into the really exciting time. Hockey is right around the corner here in Utah. Get ready for it. Get excited. Stay tuned. SLC Puck covering you all the way. We're your day one Utah hockey podcast. Don't forget it, all right? Like, comment, subscribe. Stay with us for more. SLCpuck.shop for merch. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.